Prior preparation prevents poor performance, and nothing could hold more true than when you're planning on hosting an event at your home. Hi, my name is Julie France, owner of Everyday Etiquette, and this is session 2 of how to host a great gathering. In the first session, we talked about the people. The people involved would be the host, hostess, and then your guest. In this session, we're going to be talking about pre-party planning, which is extremely important. Today, we're going to focus on 3 areas in particular: invitations, planning a menu, and then countdown to the event. So let's start with invitations. Invitations basically set the tone for the event that you're going to have. The general rule is the more elaborate the event, the further out the invitation will go. So here's how it looks. If you're going to be doing a formal wedding or an event to that level, then those invitations will be sent out anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks in advance. Typically, those invitations will be engraved and in the third person. Then we can fast forward to the most simplistic type of invitation, which could be a very impromptu backyard, just roasting hot dogs over an open pit in your backyard, and that can be even sent in a text message. And then anything in between. But again, your invitation is going to set the tone for the event. And in that invitation, you need to let the guests know what to expect. What kind of event is it? Number one, are you going to be feeding them? Or is this going to be just kind of what we call cocktails, where it will be just drinks and some light appetizers? And so in the invitation, you will state the 5 journalistic questions. Answer those questions. Who, what, when, where, and why. And so you're going to let them know where the event will be. Is this an event that's a birthday party? Are you serving a dinner or just a dessert? So all of that will be in there. You'll also want to include the RSVP so that you kind of have a count of how many people are going to be coming. So considering the event you're going to have, think about this. If you're just having like cocktails, then you're going to have it say from 5 to 7 o'clock, and you'll let them know, stop by, just very simple, and then you can go on to dinner. If you're going to be having a cocktail buffet, that means you'll be serving more substantial food, and you can have that more 6 to 8 o'clock. They can come and go. If you're going to be having a buffet dinner, that means that they'll come at a designated time, and you are totally feeding them a dinner. They will not leave hungry. So specify on the invitation the type of event that you're going to have and make it clear who's invited. Are children invited, or is it just the Mr. and Mrs.? Is this an event where there's a gift that they need to bring? Is it somebody's birthday, a retirement party? But just give them everything they need to know so that as a guest, they will be prepared. Now that we have our invitations set, it's time to plan our menu. And again, let me reference the first session. If you do not like to cook, if you're a bad cook, there is nothing in the world wrong with ordering pizzas, picking up something at a deli. Never before have we had so many options where you don't have to be an excellent cook. Now, there's people like me that I love to cook, love to be in the kitchen. A wonderful night for me is to get one of my cookbooks and just kind of pour through it and just think, I'd like to try that recipe. And next time I think I will do a tea and I want to try that. So that's a really fun part for me. But when I am planning my menu, here's what I take into consideration. First of all, with the guests that I have invited, do I need to work within confines of any food restrictions? So that's going to be important. And there have been times I went with a totally gluten-free menu for everybody because the food was so wonderful and colorful and tasty that I thought everybody will enjoy it. So that's up to you, the hostess. You don't always have to do a dinner based on somebody's restrictions, but you definitely want to have them have enough. Then I always want to think about, am I doing a theme? And if there's a theme to my event, then I like to pick colors of food, and like if I'm doing a fall event, what's the fall foods that are in season? Because they're going to be easy to get, and then also we kind of look forward to them. That's what I love about Minnesota, the change of seasons that we have. And so I'm going to look for menu items that will look beautiful on the plate, have kind of a palette of color, and will appeal to really a variety of people. When you plan your menu, you do want to stay away from stinky foods. Now, not that these foods are bad for you, but I'm just saying, if I was to cook fish, boiled broccoli, and eggs all in the same night, there is going to be a smell in my home that's a little off-putting. So do think about the smells. Fish can be very tricky because there's a certain amount that it can be cooked and then it can go bad. So what I look for is foods that can maybe be kept warm in the oven at a low temperature, foods that I can do in the crock pot. I love the crock pot because you can present some beautiful entrees and they've just been kind of simmering away all day in the crock pot. So we consider, I want to be with my guests, not in the kitchen. That is the biggest thing. Remember, when you invite people to your home, they're not coming to look at your home just to have the food. They're coming to be with you. And the hostess that's in the kitchen the entire night slaving away will not enjoy her own party. And we want you to enjoy your own party. So as I plan a menu, I'm going to again think about the time of year, who is coming, what can I put together with ease so that I am enjoying my guests. I always do a setup when guests arrive where there is food set here. They're going to want to be in the kitchen, but I don't put bar stools. And the reason I don't put bar stools is that I don't want people parking themselves here talking to me when I'm trying to kind of get things going and keep orchestrating things. I always separate initial food by the drink table, and so I'll try to put punch in another area. And always offer your guests a variety of drinks. If you, as the host and hostess, do not believe in alcohol, then you don't have to serve it. Just have some hot apple cider or some cold punch, sparkling waters. Again, many things to offer. You don't have to offer that. But if you feel comfortable offering wine or you know a certain person that likes a certain drink, then again, that's kind of nice for your guests to have that on hand. But I do separate those so that my guests can start to move out and mingle. I don't want them camped right here talking to me as I have to I want to get things out on the table and then I can enjoy the conversation with everybody else. So here's the main things that I try to kind of focus on. Simplicity is best. I am not going to do a Chateaubriand with a Béarnaise sauce and something really elaborate that's going to be fussy because, again, I want to focus on my guests. So think about what is simple and yet what is beautiful. Then be practical. If your budget is more of a tater tot budget, let me tell you, people love tater tot casserole. And so go ahead and fix that. Stay within your budget. You don't want to have to take out a loan to entertain people. And again, just find what's practical for you. And then stick with what you know. I have certain recipes. This is my book that I've put together of recipes that I have tried. They work and my guests like them. And if I come up with a new recipe and I try it and I sense that the guests don't like it, it doesn't make it into my book. So for me, I've got a book where I know these recipes work and my guests like them. So I stick with what I know. Now, that's not to say that if I don't find a little recipe maybe for a dessert or an appetizer, that I can try one new recipe, but then you should always have what we call a fallback plan. Let's say you're doing an egg souffle. A little dangerous because it can fall. Not everybody's crazy about it. But let's say you do and it falls. So then you're going to want to have something that you can quickly pull out of the freezer or a phone number you can call as a backup. I try to always have in my pantry crackers, cookies that I can decorate with some ice cream for a quick dessert, things in my refrigerator that I can quickly set out, crudités, some fruit, some dips and spreads that at a moment's notice I can kind of bring them out as a backup plan. And the last thing is have a fabulous dessert. And in fact, you can have the dessert as a centerpiece so that people know, pace themselves while they're eating because there is more to come. So that concludes session 2, how to host a great gathering. We have covered people, pre-party planning, and in the next session, we're going to talk about creating a presence in your home. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would please just like this YouTube, I'll be putting more things on a regular basis. Thank you so much. I'd like to invite you to share the gift of good manners by giving a copy of my new book, A Daily Dose of Good Manners, to family, friends, and of course a copy for yourself. This perpetual calendar offers daily reminders on how we should treat others, along with current rules of etiquette and how to behave in various social situations. It's now available online at Amazon. Just click the link below or go to my website, everydayetiquette.com. Thank you.